post-2008 regulations effectively re-engineered the U.S. banking system, turning the financing of government debt into the path of least regulatory resistance. However, just because global governments devised a new regulatory framework for banks that led to a decline in lending, commercial lending, that doesn't change a simple fact. Small and mid-sized companies still want and need capital to grow and expand. And while higher capital requirements made lending less profitable for the banks, the business of lending out money in exchange for interest, well, that's been around since at least the time of ancient Mesopotamia, some 4,000 years ago. Now we know that because one of the very first things humans did when they could write and record stuff on ancient tablets was to record the interest that merchants charged on loans of things like grain and silver. Even better, the government's new regulations not only push banks out of the lending business, they push private investors into the lending business. After all, yields on treasury securities and high-quality investment-grade bonds collapsed after the financial crisis, as the Federal Reserve sought to drive down interest rates via quantitative easing. And ironically, the regulatory infrastructure I just outlined, forcing banks to buy government bonds regardless of yields, or at least strongly encouraging it with a risk-weighted asset of zero. So in effect, you have a group of middle market companies, right, willing to pay higher rates to borrow money, higher rates than a larger company would pay,